I don't think anyone's interested in another horror origin story, so I won't bore you with one. All you need to know about me is that I decided to pick up where Jill left off. I'm 22, and you can refer to me with he, she, him, her pronouns. If you know me in real life, that is. But if for your sake, you'd be better if you don't. Living the life of an everyday college student is draining enough when you take into account classes and extracurricular activities. Think about how much effort goes into making those videos and taking those pics you all see on my Twitter. I gotta usually drug someone, take them home, restrain them so they don't attack me when they wake up, and unlock my phone. It's not like how you see in the movies, as cool as they are. You gotta work your ass off, and luckily I have. If you're listening to this with the audio accompaniment, then thanks. Not much room for the budget for a voice modulator right now, so I'm doing my best. Now I'm sure some of you may be asking, who hurt you? What happened to make you do this? You're hurting people. All good questions, but I'm afraid you won't like my answer. Nothing. Nothing happened to make me this way. I always looked at the Billions too. They were the originals. The ones that every other Ghostface strives to be better than. I'll freely admit, I'll never stack up to them. But the fun is in trying. I can remember my first victim. She was a girl in my class, long blonde hair. Usually tended to wear shirts with licensed characters on them, with acid wash jeans with holes in the knees. If I wasn't such an introvert, I probably would have dated her. But it is what it is, and also, don't date and kill. It never ends up well, and you're left with people thinking you get off on what you do. Killing people for money is a job. What I'm doing is for fun. Nothing more, nothing less. Anyway, we often shared the same study hall, and I decided she'd be the first victim to set off my reign as the current Ghostface. No real reason as to why I picked her exactly. I just felt like it. And isn't that scarier than needing a reason? Study hall went about how it usually did, and as we all moved on, some to other classes and some to go home, I grabbed my mask from my backpack and stalked her to her car. I wrapped my left hand around her neck, the rough fabric of my fingerless gloves scratching against her soft flesh, and to prevent her from screaming out, I had the barrel of my gun pressed against her back. I tell her that if she screams, I'll blow a hole through her back. She threatens that the cops will catch me before I can get away, but they won't. Not before I kill her, anyway. I move my hand from around her neck to her pocket to fish her phone and keys out. I gesture to her car with my hat and tell her to get in. She refuses to move at first. I pull back the hammer on my gun and she starts moving. Smart. She sits in the driver's seat and I'm in the passenger seat, keeping my gun trained on her the whole time. She asks who I am and I ignore her at first. She asks again and I tell her the truth. It doesn't matter, does it? You're going to die. She starts crying after that, pleading for me to let her go, and she wouldn't tell anybody about me. I ignore her, please, because I want infamy. I want to be noticed that it's the latest in the line of the Ghostface killers. If I gotta break a few eggs to do just that, then break them I will. We pull up in her driveway and ask if anyone's home. She says that her parents were gone for the night because she was going to have a couple of friends over and throw a party. It gave me an idea, but I'd keep that to myself. She gets out of her car and slams the door shut behind her, and opens her mouth to scream while I'm still getting out. I hop to my feet and grab her by the neck and throw her up against her garage door. No neighbors are out. Good. I press the barrel of my pistol right against her chin and tell her if she pulls that shit again, I'll kill her parents too. I would if she pushed me. She whimpers and I take that as a sign she understands. She unlocks the front door and we go inside. I look around the room. She's probably comfortably middle class. I would have killed for a living room like this, with a flat screen TV and a nice black leather couch, and now, I guess I was. I grab a handful of her hair and drag her upstairs to her room. I kick her to the ground and plant my boot on her stomach as I grab the blanket off her bed and go to wrap one end around her neck. She kicks and screams with my window shut, so most people don't hear it. I draw my knife and plunge it right into her shoulder. That stuns her and takes most of the fight out of her. I rip it free with little regard for her and finish wrapping around one end of the blanket around her neck. I start dragging her into the window, and when I ask her what her friends are doing, when I ask when her friends are coming, she's in hysterics at this point and says they'll be here in a couple of minutes. One of them's even dating the football team's quarterback. He'll kick my ass. I try not to laugh. Before I wrap the other end of the blanket to the top of the window frame, I decide I have one last question to ask. Hey, what are your pronouns? What? Your pronouns. What are they? Why? Why the fuck do you care? You're going to kill me. She screams, and she's right. Well, I have zero sexual or emotional connection to her or any of my other later victims. If I address them how they want to be addressed in their final moments, it's just one more slap in the face. She screams for help and cusses at me. I pull out her phone, which she had willingly unlocked for me earlier, and look through her Tumblr app. She, her. Well, I might be killing her, but I can respect that much. I set the phone to camera mode and notice a couple of cars pulling into the driveway, the friend she spoke of. I call her out by name and finish tying the blanket to the windows and grab her by the hair once more. She realizes what I'm about to do, but it's too late. The window breaks with a loud crash, and I can see her friends step out of the cars with horrified looks on their faces as they see their friend's body hanging outside her bedroom window. I wave at them and lean out the window to take a post-mortem selfie with her before leaving the phone on her bed with a picture on display. I take my leave through the back door and run home, as happy as can be. Some might think I'm depraved, a psychopath, and you might be right. But I had fun.